welcome everyone to the first episode. This is the first episode. The first episode of what, as of now, is going to be called Why I Love. You know, I love hearing about people's passions. I love, hearing people talk about the things they love. And so that's what this is going to be. And the first guest we're going to have on here is my sister, Marisa Beltran, on Instagram, Mowisha, if you want to follow her. She also has her Barbells and Baddies podcast, if you want to follow her there. She's a bodybuilder. But I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit too. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday.
I feel like I wear many hats. I work at Hooters, have been there for 10 years, calendar girl, placed in the pageants. I also do a lot of work with them, media maven, so I work with the social media team. I also am a bodybuilder. I'm also working on my master's. I also have the Barbell Baddies podcast.
She's busy.
Yeah, I'm always busy.
Working on your master's?
Yes.
So today, obviously, hence the name of the series, we're going to have Marisa talk about what she loves. And that is...
So as I wear many hats, I also have many passions. And I feel like the first one, I'm trying to think if I want to go super deep, but we'll start surface level. And I would say it's fitness that we talked about. I feel like fitness completely changed my life. It not only brought more confidence within myself physically, but also specifically with bodybuilding. I was able to learn my limits mentally, physically, spiritually, all around everything. So with that, I'm also a coach. That's also something that I do. And so I'm able to translate that and help other people define and learn what their limits are, and that really we're limitless. Anything we put our minds to, you can surpass. And I feel like that's the biggest challenge when it comes to fitness is making time for it and learning you can make time for it, but also getting there and learning, yes, you're tired, but you can push through it. Yes, you're hungry, but you can push through it. Yes, you can be hurting while you're doing a workout, but you can push through it, and you're a lot stronger than you think mentally, physically, spiritually. So I say fitness is number one. But I think my second one is just being a good person.
Well, but before we move on, first of all, if you see her furry babies running around, you'll probably see them in the video, hear them. I hate them. No, they're cool. It's Bella and Hachi. They're cool dogs, but you'll see them, you'll hear them running around. If you noticed some creature here below me earlier. But let's take it back a bit. Let's start from the beginning. For fitness and bodybuilding specifically, where was the start of that?
It's so, what's the word? Where shallow? It all starts off so shallow. So I guess it really started off working for Hooters, never getting the calendar, never placing, and the cherry on top was when I was told I was the fat girl that works at Hooters.
Damn.
And that was the only time I've ever cried at work.
They said that?
Yeah. Did I ever tell you that?
No. What the heck?
Yeah, this one guy, he was tipping everybody $100 except for me, who was serving him, and he said that he wasn't tipping me because I was the fat girl that works at Hooters.
That's crazy. Is this, and obviously we're kind of getting off topic here. We'll kind of get back to it, but is this a typical thing at Hooters, would you say?
No, I don't think maybe as in people saying that, but do people think that? Do people compare us?
Do people, I guess you could say, might not say it, but they might treat you as such.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they definitely, you can tell who specific servers they probably like more. I mean, you can sit with your favorite server and ask to sit with them. So, yeah, there's definitely some favorites.
Okay.
Obviously, I wasn't that guy's favorite. And so then after that, I was like, you know what? I've been unhappy with myself. I'm tired of losing. So I'm going to make a change. And for a while, I did go to the gym by myself, kind of bought different Instagram workouts, but nothing was really getting to like where I wanted to be and the results I wanted.
How long ago was this?
Let's see, Stephanie was in 6th grade.
That's our little sister.
That was 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
7 years ago, so around 2018 was kind of the start of it.
2018. So then, and that's a few years up until 2023, when I would say off 2022, I learned about bodybuilding.
Okay.
And all the different categories it had. And I came across a podcaster that was into fitness, but she was specifically a bodybuilder. So then I was like, okay, I actually really like this. And then I started looking at coaches, found one, and then I started training for bodybuilding in March of 2023. But then I had my first show in November of 2023. And after that, I was winning pageants. I got into the calendar. I got into, like, we work with the Denver High Mile magazine. I got into the 3 different issues with them in the magazines that they produce. Feeling more confident at work, doing social media work with them, getting to do a bunch of charities. So it changed me physically, but also changed me mentally and spiritually.
Wow. So you were dabbling with fitness and bodybuilding for about 4 years, you'd say, in between 2018 and 2022. What made you want to pull the trigger on really, locking in and getting into it and kind of preparing to actually do your first show?
Because I was still losing. Because the game plan that I had, it maybe got me, like, let's say, like, a last place, but I'm like, I want to be first place. I know I can do it. And I feel like I'm that type of person where if you feel like you're meant to do something or you want something, that means that you can do it. Like, that thought was placed in your head because you have the capabilities of doing it, or else that thought wouldn't have come up in your head.
Yeah.
So I got tired of first losing, then being last place, and then being like, I know I can do better than this, and I'm not taking advantage of my full potential.
Okay. Wow. And what kind of cultivated your love for it? Because, you have this initial drive to be like, I want to be better. I want to win, having that drive to sort of be the best, and win those pageants, win first place. But what keeps you in it now, and what kind of kept you in it in the beginning? Because that's always the hardest part, is once you get into something, staying in it, I think, is the most difficult thing. So what kind of keeps you in it now?
In the beginning, staying with it was all the wins I was getting. And specifically with bodybuilding, it's very rigid, very structured. And I feel like the last few months of this year in 2025, I kind of stayed away from that structure and needed a break from it. So I feel like right now I'm slowly learning again to fall in love with fitness. And I think what it was before is I was doing it to have a physique that was pleasing to society. And now I'm learning to go back to my roots, and fitness is for me. It's to feel the endorphins, to feel the dopamine, to have, good cardiovascular health, to be able to, lift things even when I'm 70 years old. So now I'm reminding myself, like, hey, like, motivation, pleasing other people is not going to take you far. What's going to take you far is doing it for yourself. So I think right now it would be learning that I want to be fit and healthy for myself.
Yeah, and that's great to hear. I mean, I feel like that's a problem a lot of people have when they get into something. They have that passion and love for something, is allowing yourself that space, allowing yourself to have a break from it if you need it, just to, again, fall in love with it again and not, see it as a job almost, not see it as a chore. Is there anything you want to add to that? Is there anything you think you're leaving out in terms of why you love, fitness and bodybuilding?
I would just say it's more of like a reminder for people that fitness, of course, we all do it in the beginning for shallow reasons, but don't forget to remind yourself you're doing it for yourself, and to not compare and to not rush and truly enjoy the process and take your time because you have your whole lifetime to improve. So don't try to go from 0 to 100 in one day and just try to do 1% and be 1% better every single day because it'll add up.
I mean, it's like, as the saying goes, right? If you can get 1% better at something every day, in a year, you'll be 365% better, you know? And you only have one body. That's, I also love, working out. And I will say, obviously us being siblings, one thing that keeps me motivated and keeps me in the gym, keeping wanting to, be healthy and do all these things when it comes to fitness is looking up to you and being like, well, she's doing it, so I want to do it as well. So it's nice to have somebody there that you're close with doing it as well,
Just 50K Taco Bell.
Yeah, watch that video if you haven't seen it. Get out of here. So that's awesome. And again, I think it's great to hear you talk about this because I feel like even though we are siblings, we don't really talk to each other about certain things that we love. Not, regularly. We usually just talk about our problems. We'll come to each other for advice or like regular day-to-day things, which I think is more personal,
Yeah.
I feel like most people with their siblings don't get a chance to talk like this about the things they love, And it's cool that we share that interest. But again, is there anything else you want to add?
No, other than what you said, it's nice that with fitness, that's something we can hold each other accountable on, but also relate to and can talk about it. And like, even like what we talked about, the 50K Taco Bell run, it's like everybody kept looking at you like you're crazy. And not once in my mind did I think you're crazy. I was literally like, I want to do that too. Like, that sounds fun. So it's nice being able to, in like that aspect, inspire each other, challenge each other, because that was my first ever marathon, and of course it had to be an ultra marathon. Barely prepared for it, but I feel like with bodybuilding you have some sort of endurance built up even, and I feel like marathons are more mental battles than anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I had that mental toughness in me already, so just I think having siblings that inspire you and push you, so I'm grateful that not only do you and me have that, but Stephanie, so it's like a trio of always being better for ourselves and for each other.
I agree. What sort of future plans do you have with bodybuilding and fitness? Do you have any future goals, anything that you're working towards now?
So definitely working towards just opening up more clientele and being more of a coach. Obviously, like, it'd be cool to be a fitness influencer. For sure with bodybuilding, I want to be a pro, but I know at that point there's going to be steroids coming in.
I mean, it's an interesting thing, right? Because even though I do love the gym and fitness, that is something.
It's like a whole other world.
It's something that I don't know much about, and I understand that if you truly are becoming a bodybuilder, it's a real question you have to ask yourself. Is like, am I going to enhance myself to get further, or is it possible to do this naturally? And really, I don't know. What would you say?
I would say first max out your genetics as much as possible. I think you could dabble with like peptides before you actually go into steroids, but maxing out, you're literally eating clean, you're doing your cardio, you're doing your workouts, and then after that, for a while, it's like, okay, let me try a couple peptides, because they're way, I think, more simpler than steroids and way less side effects, and max out your natural genetics with that, max that out, and then after that, and obviously talk to a coach.
Talk to your doctor.
About it. And then after that, if the coach, is knowledgeable to know, like, hey, like, this is what would be the next step, because you've already maxed out your natural muscle strength. And it also depends on your age, too. If you're 19, you should not be doing steroids, especially as a young man, because you all have a lot more testosterone than women.
Okay. Actually, kind of getting into that, what would you say are sort of your biggest, your three biggest pieces of advice to people that are getting into fitness, getting into bodybuilding? Maybe some things that you wish you would have known earlier or done earlier in your journey.
I would say one advice, because I did it right away, was getting a good, knowledgeable coach. I still literally have my first coach. And I think when you're looking for a coach, you also have to look at, are they a good person? Because even if you can, quote unquote, find a good coach that has all these medals and all these people they've taken to the Olympia, which is like the Super Bowl of bodybuilding, they've won all these medals, they could also not be that good of a person in the aspect of they might not have your best interest and they're just looking for the win, and that win is going to be the cost of your health, but I think also like your mental health. Because I mean, for me, 2 hours of cardio 6 days a week was pretty taxing, but that was the max we were going to do, and that was literally for a few weeks. But there's people that do that for much longer. So I would say finding a good coach that has your best interest and not just wants your money and doesn't care about you as a person and your health. And then secondly, I would say to know your why, because shallow reasons are only going to get you going for a few weeks. But after your cravings kick in, after you're tired from work, you still gotta go do that cardio, still gotta work out, you still gotta maybe have a couple more meals, maybe you still gotta go to the grocery store, and it'd be much easier to not know your why to keep you going and to stay motivated and disciplined. And thirdly, I would say to trust the process and trust your coach at that aspect, and just follow the plan and don't try to rush into it. Because like I said before, like you have your whole lifetime to enjoy this process, to better yourself. So don't try. We all want to be number one, but I would say be your number one first before trying to be the number one in the judges' eyes. And people will probably disagree with me, especially in bodybuilding, because we all want to be number one. But what I always tell myself is I want to be better than I was at my last show, which I do every single time. If I was sixth place at one show, the next one I want to be at least fifth, not then fourth, because it's like that. I'm against myself. I'm not against other people. I'm going against myself. So don't forget that your person that you're battling is you yourself, not the people on stage. Even though technically you are, but I don't care about the people on stage. I care about how I'm looking, how I'm feeling, because at the end of the day, when I'm having my cheat meals, I'm with my family, hanging out, am I going to be bummed I didn't win first? Yeah, maybe, because we all put in that work. But at the end of the day, am I going to know that I put in 100% of my effort and I did better than last time? I already won. Getting a medal is just a cherry on top.
And looking at bodybuilding as somebody sort of on the outside of it, it's very fascinating to me because, you know, just like any sort of art form, you are technically competing and comparing with other people, you know, and it's tough to separate, you know, that sort of mindset of doing something for yourself and for others when you're competing against others. And especially in something like bodybuilding where there are physical limitations. You know, if you're a certain height, certain genetics, some people have that advantage over, and there's literally nothing you can do about that. And I think what's great is being able to push your genetic limits. I think is something that is so cool. And who knows, maybe I'll do it one day. She wants me to. I need to I need to trust the bulk basically. This winter, you'll see my bulking video sometime in the future, but I'm gonna start bulking soon. We'll see how that goes, and maybe we'll see how far I can push myself. But I think that's something that I love about bodybuilding. Again, not knowing much about it when it comes to the competition side of it, but fitness in general, just being able to push yourself to your absolute physical limits. I think it's just so cool to see, especially, you know, with somebody I'm close with, a literal sibling.
Seeing you physically change, and
And seeing you up on the stage is like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And we're all tan.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But is there anything else you want to add? Any sort of other things that you want to tell the people out here?
No, I think give all the advice and reminders and what I would do if I were them.
All right. Well, obviously, bodybuilding and fitness, in my perspective, seems to be your number one sort of passion. The thing you love the most. Outside of your family, Danny, maybe us too. Or maybe we might be second. What other things outside of bodybuilding do you have a passion for, would you say?
Like I mentioned earlier, I think the second one is really just being a good person. Like, it's interesting. I think about it as an example. Every time I go for walks with the dogs, anytime I see a piece of trash, I pick it up. And it's interesting because I feel like I believe in the universe, spiritual God, all of that stuff. And I have been doing that for months. And then one day I see something that looks like trash, and I pick it up, and it's a $50 Starbucks gift card. And it's usable. So I don't know, I think just something as simple as that, but I even think about it in my job. And a lot of people always tell me that, oh, you're a great server, oh, you're a great bartender. And I think it's because like I do enjoy talking to other people. I do enjoy asking how their day was. Why are they here? Are they celebrating something? A lot of the time too, it's like, oh, this is a business transaction to we're just both humans on just different aspects of the table. So I think just being a good person and even just having small conversations with people you see, like I love giving compliments. Like I always tell people if like you like something, you have a compliment you want to give, like you should give it. I like your shirt. Oh, like you look so pretty today. I think it's just, I don't know, just being a good person and in that aspect, I feel when you are a good person, you enjoy life a little bit more because you learn we're just all little ants on this planet. And we don't have to take life so serious because we're all here on our different journeys, learning different things. And I don't know, just back to what I said, we don't have to take life so serious.
And I think one aspect of that is, not just being a good person, but just bringing positive sort of energy and vibes into every sort of aspect of your life, every situation. You should see what one experiment, if you live like in an apartment building, is when you get in the elevator, just like talk to somebody in the elevator and just say something nice about them, start a conversation, and you should see how people light up sometimes. Yeah. It's crazy because I get on the elevator to go downstairs, upstairs from my apartment building, and the difference between being in a silent elevator full of people and one person just starting a conversation, it's crazy. If you just say something, you could say anything, like your shoes, anything like that. I think it can really change somebody's life, somebody's day, but also somebody's life, I should say. Little things like that, So I love that. Anything else you want to add to that?
I think I like that experiment of, like they always do those ones of like someone kidnapping a kid, and half of the time people don't do anything about it. I feel like be that person that does do something about it.
Wait, hold on. Can you repeat what you just said?
Have you ever seen those videos?
What are you talking about?
It's so extreme. So it's basically, you see something.
Say something?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure what that has to do with bringing positive vibes.
Because be that person that actually does something when you see something wrong.
Okay. So is this like adding on to you being a good person? Yeah. Okay. I see. Okay. I agree with that. I mean, definitely if you see somebody getting kidnapped, you probably should do something about it. You've heard it here first.
But even just something as simple, picking up trash.
Yeah. Start with the little things. I think going into every situation, with that positive mindset, though, is definitely very important. That's awesome. That's great to hear. I 100% agree. If there's one thing, is there anything else you want to add in terms of anything else you want to talk about at all? that you're like, I need to get this off my chest?
That's something I'm passionate about, or something that
Just something you love. It could literally be anything.
I think this would be the last one, and it ties into family, but it's staying connected to your culture. That I think is such a huge one, because I feel like I lose some of it because we're not living in Mexico. We didn't grow up in Mexico. We don't even really go that often. So I think that's something I really try staying connected to, and I think that's why I'm such a big family person, because my parents are the closest thing, and our grandparents, that we have to that culture, to what Mexico is. So I think one of my passions is making sure that I'm knowledgeable and I stay connected to my roots so that my kids can have that too. Like, I think about it yesterday. I met these two guys, and they were third generations, and they were speaking Spanish, they were playing, Mexican music, and I feel like I never really see that. I think that every generation that continues living here, you lose a little piece of what your culture is, and you become more Americanized. And I think for me, I never want to lose that, and I never want my kids to lose that, because I think when you lose your culture, you're losing a little piece of who you really are and where you came from. And I think that same aspect, you lose a little bit of that humbleness, because a lot of the times, like our family, we didn't come from generational wealth and these big family money, old money. And so I think it helps us stay connected, that we're so lucky and we're so blessed, and that our families made sacrifices to leave a country that is their whole lives to help their future generations. So although that they leave somewhere they love, their families can do better in a new place that they can hopefully love.
Yeah, it's something that me and my friend Yvonne, we talked about a few weeks ago, just in personal conversation. We were talking about feeling disconnected from your culture. And I definitely feel guilty of that for sure. It's something that I definitely do feel disconnected from my culture, and whether that's because of my own decisions or just life in general, it's something that you can do something about it. You can always make that connection back in a myriad of ways. But yeah, it's interesting how easily that can happen to people, especially I think our generation is probably the most guilty of it because we're the most privileged, out of any of the generations. I think starting, with millennials and then Gen Z, like this whole generation has kind of been that generation of children of immigrants, and so yeah, that's definitely something I deal with. So I totally understand that. What piece of advice would you give people that feel disconnected from their culture?
To not be afraid to dive in and just try to stay connected. Don't be afraid to speak the language, even if you don't speak it perfectly. Don't be afraid to cook the meals that you've never cooked before. Don't be afraid to call family and ask them questions, ask them stories about their life. Don't be afraid to learn more about who you are in general.
I think that's great advice. Yeah, just I, I think one thing that, at least being a teenage boy at one point, is it felt kind of cringe to be part of your culture almost, but it's not cringe. It's actually cool.
Yeah.
It's super cool, you know. Um, and so, like she said, don't be afraid to talk to your parents, talk to your grandparents, have those conversations, and don't be afraid to be a part of that, participate in those holidays, those traditions. Question tradition, but dancing, learning, those type of things, yeah, that's great. One day. Well, obviously, it's been a great conversation. Thank you for your time. But
Happy to be part of the first episode.
happy birthday. And as you guys at this point might know, maybe not, I'm not sure if this video's come out yet. But if there's one thing I'd say that you're passionate about, that I'm passionate about, maybe a lot of people are passionate about, it's food. And you don't know this because the video is not out, but myself, I am creating the ultimate snack tier list. And the first video, basically, it's a weekly video series where I'm going to be rating and putting snacks on a tier list because I love snacks. Like, we're snackers in our family.
You do a lot of research. When we're going somewhere, Cheesecake Factory, you were doing research. Which one is the best one?
Yeah, legit. Like, it's down to a science for me when it comes to like snacks and food in general. And I was like, let me keep an archive of this and just rate all the snacks I try because I just love buying random little snacks from the store. So I'll be doing like a weekly series now where I rate snacks, put them on a tier list. And in this series, at the end of every episode, we're going to bring out your 3 favorite snacks. And I'm going to try them out. We're going to see your thoughts on them, why you love them. And I'm going to put them on the tier list.
I thought these snacks that you asked me were for my birthday gift.
Yeah, well, she bought me snacks for my birthday, so I was like, oh, this is the perfect cover-up. Yeah. But let me go grab those really quick. We'll cut this.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about hot tea. I know, Danny asked me, he was like, he asked me my favorite snacks too. I was like, oh, maybe, I don't know.
Okay, so Marisa's 3 favorite snacks. Well, you want to give us the first one. Which is the first one that you think we should try?
They're just kind of different, but I would say the trail mix.
So, trail mix. Now, before we continue, as you know, if you've already seen the episode, the way we rate snacks on here is 3 different things. Taste, macros, and price. So,
those are good.
Obviously, I think taste being the most important, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I love trail mix. Let's go ahead and try it first before we get into it. Okay. I'll go ahead and open this bag.
And it's funny because when you think of snacks, you don't necessarily think of trail mix, but I specifically like the ones with pineapple and papaya and mango.
So the specific one we have here is one that my parents buy, that my dad specifically buys. He buys a big bag from Sam's Club. And it's this Kroger fruit and nut trail mix. It has raisins, pineapple, apricots, banana chips, almonds, papaya, cranberries, and walnuts. And when they buy this, if me or her are at our parents' house, it's dangerous. Things get bad. And if there's one thing I realized with trail mix that we'll get into, it's that trail mix, in terms of calories, sugar, it's not good. But let's give it a try.
And people think it's a healthy snack, but it is, but in a medium-sized amount.
Yeah, watch your serving sizes, everyone. I'm going to grab just a few pieces here if you want to grab a few pieces, and we're going to do a little taste test here. Got some dried pineapple, raisins, banana chips. So dangerous, dude.
Are you taking the bag? You're leaving them?
Mm.
That's so dangerous.
Yeah. So in terms of taste, if you want me to be honest, trail mix might be one of the best variety snacks. You know, you just get so much because of the amount of different trail mixes there are. I think when it comes to taste, you have so many options with trail mix. Mm-hmm. And if we ever have another trail mix on here, oh, sorry about that. If we ever have another trail mix on here, they're passionate about it. They might go on its own tier. But this one specifically, it's a very sweet trail mix, which is good. I like the sweetness and saltiness that comes with it. What would you rate this on a scale of 1 to 30? Give us a number, just any number.
You can never open food up around this. I think it's crazy. 30 is the best?
30 is 10 for taste, 10 for macros, 10 for price.
Well, how much was it?
So this bag here was $8.99, $7.99 I think, depending on the store you go to. Price-wise, we're talking in between $7 to $10. Price-wise for a bag like this, I'm giving it I'd say like a 7. It's not bad at all for price.
Wait, you said rate it 1 through 30?
Well, I give it, it's 3 different numbers, 1 out of 10.
Oh, okay, so 10, 10, 10 is...
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of taste, this is up there.
You know what's interesting, though? It's really good, but when I'm cutting and I'm able to have more variety, and I've only eaten fish and chicken and a salad for like 3 months, this tastes like dessert.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting because my palate changes a bit, and now that I've been able to be a little more flexible. So it's funny because if you were to ask me this after I finish the show, I think I would rate it a lot higher than what I would today.
We have to be very, objective here.
Yeah, okay.
It's obviously not a 9 or 10. We got to save those for the crazy tasting stuff. Because it's just sweet and salty, I'm also going to give it a 7.
I was going to say a 7 too.
And when it comes to macros, let's talk about the macros here. We have 29 servings, 33 grams per serving, 130 calories. We're talking...
Calories isn't bad. 130?
23 carbs, 17 total sugars per serving.
That is a lot.
It's a lot of sugar. And it's natural, natural sugars because it's fruit.
Yeah.
4 grams of fat.
It's 23?
The sugars is what really, I think, tanks this when it comes to its macros. Trail mix in general, any trail mix, the macros are usually not great for calories and sugars specifically. So macro-wise, I'm going to give this a 4.
Macro-wise?
Mostly because of the sugars. That is a lot of sugars per serving, and you can find yourself hitting 3 servings of this and already reaching over your daily sugar intake.
I'm going to say a 6.
Okay.
Because the carbs are pretty good. I mean, it's not horrible, but I'm thinking about having this before or after a leg day. Carbs are pretty good. It's going to give me that energy. The sugar is a little bit high.
But that's if you have 1 serving, which you're not going to have 1 serving.
But I have discipline, people.
So, because you're just grabbing this. You're not measuring this. Nobody is.
I guess you're right.
So.
Okay. I'm going to say 5 then, because I guess if we're just thinking in general, we're not thinking about bodybuilder type stuff, it's going to be a 5.
So you'll have our scores on the screen there. Not the highest rated, I know. I'm thinking sounds about around a 19 under 20, which is okay. On the tier list,
price?
We already did price.
Price is really good, so I'd say like an 8.
But on the tier list in general, for me, this is my tier list. I'm sorry, you get no say.
That's all right.
On the tier list, this is going in B tier.
And what are your tiers?
The tiers are S, A, B, C, D, F.
Why? Is it super S?
No, super S tier is just wow epic. Okay. B tier is good. Good. It's a good snack. If the macros were better, it'd be up there, but it's just not there. So that is snack number 1. Number 2, we have Nerds Gummy Clusters.
These are also very dangerous, as you saw on my show in April.
And it's our first candy we have on this tier list. And so I know a bit about these. Obviously, you know about them more than I do. But why do you love these so much?
I think because, well, one, I've always loved nerds. And I love, gummy things. And I love, sour and sweet gummy things. And that's just a good flavor. Sour, sweet, and gummy. And crunchy. It has a lot of different aspects to it.
A lot of different textures, you could say. But, yeah, let's have a little taste of these.
I know the macros are not going to be good. It's candy.
It's your birthday, They're solid. You gotta say. I mean, I'm not a candy guy. But these themselves, I love gummies. Nerds are good. Nerds at the end of the day are just like little caplets of sugar. But taste-wise, pretty solid. Pretty solid. Taste-wise, I mean, if I'm being really honest, they just taste like a little fruity, a little sugary, nothing crazy. A 6 for me. They're not 5, they're not mid taste-wise, but I think a 6. When it comes to price, these are very cheap. Candy in general is very cheap. I think this bag, depending on where you buy it from, you can get it from like $3 to $5. I think I got it for like 3 something at a gas station. So price-wise, these are like an 8. Candy's cheap. If you want something sweet, you can get it cheap. If this is what you want, by all means. Macro-wise, honestly, if there's one thing I noticed with candy in these past few years, is candies doesn't really have bad macros as long as you control yourself. A serving size of this is 16 pieces.
That's a lot.
16. Yeah, that's a lot. Like you got to really smash this to even hit 2 servings, you know. And with 1 serving, it's only 100 calories. 0 grams of fat, 24 grams of carbs, but 21 total sugars, and only 1 gram of protein. So if you just have 1 serving of this, you're fine. 16 pieces, like as long as you don't completely overindulge with these, macro-wise, it's not that bad. Macro-wise, this is also getting a 6. A lot of sugar, but if you want something sweet, this isn't that bad. I unless you eat the whole bag, you're really not doing yourself too much of a disservice here. So, and I know all these snacks, obviously being your favorite, you'd probably put them in S tier. These, for me, are going in C tier. Right in the middle.
Higher?
Yes. This is going in C tier because at the end of the day, it is just candy. If you want me to be honest. I'm sorry. C tier. Last, but certainly not least, it's a wild card one.
You think so? Were you surprised?
I wasn't surprised because I've seen these before in our cabinets, but it's Brookside dark chocolate, so chocolate covered blueberries, which I think I've had these and I don't remember exactly, but what do you love about these?
It's like you're eating something sweet and you feel like you're eating something healthy.
Okay, I like that.
But I think overall, because I love fruit and I love chocolate. So you get that bitterness from the berries, and then you get that sweetness from the chocolate.
Okay, I could understand that. Let's give these a little taste here. I do love dark chocolate. Wow.
That was really good. Really good.
Honestly, yeah. I think the dark chocolate and the sweetness from the blueberry works pretty well there. Good taste. Again, nothing crazy. Solid 7 for taste. When it comes to the macros, 7 servings per bag, 12 pieces is a serving. So again, I feel like it's kind of difficult to really overindulge yourself. 12 pieces is a lot. Like these are pretty big.
12 blueberries, basically.
Yeah. And 5 grams of fat, 22 grams of carbs, 18 total sugars is pretty high though. And less than 1 gram of protein. Macro-wise, could do better, could do worse. I'm going to give that a 6 as well. When it comes to price, these aren't that bad either. Again, you're talking around the $4 range, depending on where you buy these from. So these are going to get a 7 when it comes to price. And on the tier list, I think these are also going to be in B tier. Same with the trail mix. I think they are solid snack, nothing crazy, but I wouldn't call them mid. And they're definitely not down with the Lenny and Larry's if you've watched that video. Some good snack choices though, like, nothing bad. I'm not insulting you, don't hurt me. But some solid snack choices. Let us know what you think of her snacks here. And if I'm wrong or maybe she's wrong for liking them, of course, you might see that if anybody's watching this. But that's it. Thank you again. Thank you for your time and being a part of this video. And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Marisa. Happy birthday to you. Oh, we're on Instagram. See you later.